Can you hear me? Like right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Doing good. I'm just waiting because there's a lag, right?
Right.
So now I'm waiting for the YouTube to start to say, okay, here we are, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there, went green, receiving your content, and bam, you're on. We're on. Here I come. You can talk.
Oh yeah.
All right, Shalaby. All right, bro. That was it got a little heated. Me and Shalaby having a deep conversation. Would you say it's pretty deep?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you talking with me about it, man.
No problem, man.
I wish more people would talk about it and not, just make quick snap decisions. Because everything you talked about, that you told me, I wish I could have been there to fuck that motherfucker up.
I mean, you can't be there for everything. I'm saying, like,
that's what I'm saying.
It happens just about everywhere. Like, me and my friends get in the elevator, black friends. If I have one black friend and then there's 3 white people in the elevator, they will all wait for the next elevator, one, or just walk up the stairs. And I'm saying, like, it's just how society sees, most of the society sees us.
And that fucking sucks, dude.
And it does. And
But you know what? Let me ask you this. Do you find, what do you think about size being a factor? Because like for me, I would never do that. I would never do that, okay? But I find that a lot of like left espousing white people, men and women, right? They do things like that, like get on another elevator, won't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They say the right things, but they don't act the right way.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. Actions speak louder than words.
That could be a factor, but it's just
because they're scared, basically.
For what? Like, dude, like we going to the same place.
I hear you, bro, but they're scared. There's so many of them that are scared.
Yeah.
Whether and women the same way.
Yeah.
Scared to death, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I can understand why they're scared, but then other times I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand why. But you know what? I get scared sometimes. I mean, not that infrequent on Skid Row. I mean, okay, let me show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys real. So this is what I just did because I'm feeling rough. So I took one. I was just showing him. This is my hydrocodone. Okay, I just took another one of those. All right, I had one earlier today. Now usually what I'll do is I'll take 2 at the same time and then I'll have 3 hours. So with absolutely no pain at all, right?
Right.
Sometimes though it gives me a little bit of an opiate buzz kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it so that I can be normal, okay? So I only took 1 today, and it didn't give me the full effect. And when I was getting it all set up, right? Because Reese isn't here, the person who usually helps me, my IHSS provider, and he doesn't get paid from IHSS, by the way, for doing the podcast. That's a separate thing. He does cleaning and cooking and helps me do those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is something, because he's 19.
Okay, yeah.
It's his first job. I was so happy that he got his first check last week, ever, right? His whole life, right? But yesterday was July 4th, and he was going to meet a girl at 11 p.m. So, Reese, if you're out there, you're watching, I hope you got laid, and it's totally all right that you're not here, okay? I'm not mad at you at all, okay?
Right.
Now, so I went and took one of these, and then I took magnesium citrate right here, right? And it's look at this freaking horse pill, bro. Look how fucking big those fucking things are.
Do you break it down? You swallow
No, man, swallow that thing, man. I have to swallow that thing, right? All right? And that is mostly for the cramping, okay? And then this one for, it says, odorless fish oil, right? That's even bigger than the magnesium citrate.
Damn.
That's pretty big, right? Look at that thing. All right? So I took that, and then I took 1 aspirin, which is not so much pain, it's just like a blood thinner, right? 48, I'll be 49 next month. And then I took one of these. These are kind of small, as you can see.
Yeah.
This is a Dococet sodium, 100 milligram soft gel, and this is to help as a stool softener, so I can go to the bathroom. All right, easier. I took one of these. This is vitamin B12. All right, and then I took one of these, which is vitamin D, because you can't get help. You can't if you have an injury, you can't heal your body can't heal without vitamin D. It's extremely important. And then this is lysine. I took one of these, you know, and it's pretty big, but not nearly as big as those other two.
Right.
And this is it's a what is it, amino acid? I think, right? I think so. What isn't it? Isn't it? It says somewhere what it is. Yeah, it's an essential amino acid, and it supports collagen production, you know, which is your ligaments and stuff, you know. So, you know, that's what's going on. I didn't really like sharing this information about my health.
Yeah.
But I decided recently, you know, it's like you guys should know. I mean, it's not easy to get older.
It's not.
It's not easy. We're all on the same journey, just different destinations as far as time.
Yeah.
Everyone out there, him, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. Every living thing dies. Everything dies. Even the Methuselah tree that's 6,000 years. That motherfucker. You seen how beat up that motherfucker's looking right now? You know. You gotta realize that you're not gonna be how you are today. How old are you?
30.
At 30, he's dirty 30, ladies. Come and see him, dirty 30. You know, oh my God, fuck. I'm about to be 50, 50, you know?
Yeah.
50, oh, for God. Flaky 40, 50, man. I'm almost out of the flaky 40s and into the 50s, man.
50 nifty, man. That's what it is, 50 nifty.
Shit, 50, believe me, all right? Now, it's been July 4th. Okay. Oh, let me show you. Talk while I go get this and show him. Talk.
Oh,
Tell him something. Tell him something about yourself.
Oh yeah, man. Came out to LA February 2nd, 2012. I stayed in an all men's transitional living. So.
How did you find that?
I found it on Craigslist. Found it on Craigslist. I was back in Detroit, so I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna move to LA and start my career, or I just don't. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go. So I went on out to LA, and it was full of convicts in Compton. I didn't know that. So the first night, I think I came in here about 1 a.m.
Where was it at?
In Compton.
Address or street corners?
Rosecrans. I don't remember it too much.
You like? Looks cool, right? Wait till they see, right?
I don't remember it too much, but it was called Uncle Dave's Sober Living.
That sounds bad right there. Uncle Dave Sober. Come on down to Uncle Dave's Sober Living.
And the first night, the guy said...
and it probably wasn't very sober. The first night, the guy said what?
I didn't, like I said, I didn't know. I was in a room with a guy, and I said, so how's LA? He says, shit, I don't know. I was just in the pen for 4 years. I was like,
Shit, 4 years, that's nothing. That's nothing.
That's a long time.
I hear you, dude. When some of these guys be getting out, they'll be saying, I mean, all the time, I've been in jail for 16 years. And I'm just like, holy fuck. I did 35 months in England. 35 months in prison in England. Methylene dioxymethamphetamine, commonly referred to as MDMA or ecstasy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, in London, England, okay? And I was lucky because they made sure you had hot water for tea every night. They did.
Oh,
and they had a board of governors to make sure that nobody was abusing you. If you went to the block, you know, or the hole, as it were, like they call it, right? If you went there, they would come see you every day. You would get, every day, a medical professional would come and see you. One of the governors would come and see you and stuff. You know, they tried not to put you in there, right? I liked it there. I liked solitude. I did. I liked it. At one point, they tried to move me backwards. I'd already been in, at that point, of the 35 months, I'd already been in like 20 months, right? Something like that. And I was at Wandsworth Prison in London, and they found an inhaler, you know, that I had thrown away the wrong one, right? I threw away the new one and not the old one, and the old one I had taken, and it was only like the second time. No, maybe it might have been even the first time I had gotten some cannabis, some hash in the prison, right?
Oh shit.
Because there was heroin and all kinds of other shit, but there wasn't no fucking, almost never, right? I mean, the only time there was weed in the prison was the time when I got out on bail after 6 months. My buddy put up his flat in Earl's Court, right? I mean, English friend, right? He put up his flat so that I could get out for like, you know, a few weeks over the holidays before I went to my trial and get some pussy, you know, and hang out and have some fun, you know, get out, you know. And I keistered some weed back in, you know, some high quality weed back into the prison when I went back in.
Oh shit.
And it, you know, let me tell you, prison wasn't so bad when I was stoned. It was still shitty, but it was nowhere near as bad as not being stoned in prison.
Right.
Right. So anyway, later, you know, I went to like a rehab program or whatever, right? And I gotta say, I'm not an addict of any kind.
Right.
I mean, alcohol, all those things, you know, they want to pigeonhole you.
Yeah.
Me personally, my problem mostly is behavioral difficulties with other human beings.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
people suck.
Generally, people
fucking
are hell. What is that, Sartre? Or what play is that where basically the whole premise is people are hell?
I don't know, but people fucking suck, man.
Yeah, dude, they can. If you're lucky, they suck. Usually they just blow. You know, you ever had a chick that didn't know how to give a real blowjob and she actually thought she was supposed to blow and not suck?
I had girls use their teeth.
Oh my God, the teeth ones. They are the worst, man. All you women, no fucking teeth. No teeth.
Yeah.
Stop biting our dicks.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Yes, we can.
Say it.
Stop biting our dicks.
Stop biting our dicks, bitches. Fuck.
Use your tongue. Use your tongue.
Tongue it. Damn. So they had me in this program, and then they had me on this supposed drug-free wing, right? And what it was is I was in this play. You can actually look it up on the Daily Telegraph from 2002, I think it was. You know, my name, and I was interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And I had said, you can tell my name. I'm not ashamed, you know, because I wasn't. I still ain't ashamed of the fact that because of the drug war, I was forced to, because I was always at that, you know, I consider myself, I called myself the ethical drug dealer. And my friend Annie, whose mom was actually on Tony Blair's cabinet, or one of the, you know, she was like the minister of luxury, no, not leisure and recreation, or I don't know, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Her mom, Annie's mom. Anyway, Annie was like, that's an oxymoron. And I was like, why? Because in my opinion, I'm more ethical than the fucking assholes that are selling pharmaceutical, you know, thalidomide or some shit, right? That sells these medications to people, and they're not doing them. I mean, I was doing everything that I sold.
So it kind of sounds like one. So did you sell to children?
Fuck no. What are you talking about?
Pregnant women?
Hell no.
Okay, that's ethical.
What the fuck are you talking about? Hell no. And I didn't sell heroin. I didn't sell fucking crack.
No, I'm saying, like, I can understand.
I had.
You can be ethical. You can be ethical.
Yes, you can.
That's why I was asking. Those are one of the things that I can think of.
And
like.
she said that, you know, and Annie, if you're out there, whenever you see this, I love you, girl, and I'm glad that you I hope you're still with you know, Peskin, and I hope that you got kids, and you're having a great life, okay? Because you was a great friend to me. All right, and I really appreciated all the time that I got to talk to you and stuff. Okay, I wish we could have banged, but we never even never knocked boots and stuff. And you know, it's her loss really, because you know, my Yankee ass would have rocked your world. Just so you're aware. I'm just letting her know. I'm talking to Annie right now. Anyway, but my point was that anything that I sold, I had done and tried out first.
Okay.
And I never sold like a underweight.
Okay.
I never said it was something that it wasn't. And like I said, I tested it on myself before I would start to go out and sell. There's none of that now, it seems. Like, they take fentanyl, right?
Yeah.
It's bad enough for somebody to be a heroin addict, okay? Like, I hate heroin. I never liked heroin. The only reason I became addicted, like I told you before, was so that I could relate to heroin junkies talking about how hard it was for them to kick.
Yeah.
You ever do any drugs at all?
I've done heroin once.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm cool that you tried it because, is that the only one you've ever tried? Was You never smoked pot?
Never smoked pot. Never drank alcohol.
Never did cocaine.
No.
Never smoked crack.
No.
Which is the same. Never did meth. Never did ecstasy. Never did LSD. Never did mushrooms.
No, none of that.
But you did heroin.
Yeah.
Intentionally?
Yeah, the girl was pretty.
The girl was pretty. I hear you, bro. Woo!
She was there with me, and I said,
Man, I hear you, dude. How long ago was this?
It was maybe 14, 15 years ago.
Okay, so you would have been 16?
I was 16.
What happened when that happened, when you did that?
I really don't. Me and her started touching. Then my mind went from blank. I got home. I convinced myself somebody murdered my mom, and I was just going around screaming.
You were having paranoia on heroin?
Yeah, convinced myself. Yeah, convinced. I don't know.
You didn't. Are you sure it was heroin and not like cocaine? What color was it?
It was in the vein.
You shot in the vein.
Yeah.
And did you watch her cook it up?
Oh, she was just doing it. She did it off the little spoon thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
was it? Did you see the color of the powder, or was it
like
black?
Brown.
Brown. Okay. Man.
So after that,
I'm not used to hearing. I've never heard of somebody being paranoid on heroin. I mean, that's interesting.
But after that,
how long did it last?
I don't remember. I think I was. I don't remember. I don't remember like the time lapse. I think it was like maybe like 4 or 5. I don't know. But I'm not gonna lie to you. That was like the strongest I ever felt in my life. Like I felt strong. I felt like energetic.
That ain't heroin, bro. You did something else. You did meth or you did coke. You injected. Yeah, they do that. Listen, they do meth and coke in the vein as well. Because heroin, I've never ever heard, because that's the reaction that people have to cocaine or to methamphetamine, is what you just described. This is what. Okay, can I describe my first heroin experience?
Go ahead.
All right, so I was on tour with Further Festival because Jerry Garcia had died the year before. And I was so bummed that I had never done a full Grateful Dead. By the way, Saturday at Dodger Stadium, the Grateful Dead, the Dead are playing, Dead & Co. You should go if you've never been. Just letting you know, you'll have a blast. So anyway, we were headed, and we did Further Festival, and actually, it was already over. Further Festival was already over, which was Further was the bus that Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters, and that was some of the Dead, right before they formed the band in '64. Took a bus across the country with LSD and turned on a bunch of people, right? And it's called the Further Bus, and it was spelled wrong, Furthur, right? And so they called it Further Festival after Jerry died, and they went out touring. So after that was over, I did Fish Tour, right? Phish. Are you familiar with the band Fish?
No.
When we finish the podcast, I'll play a song from Fish, okay? My favorite song. And it was mostly to get back east that I was on tour. But it was a way to make money because you could vend, not drugs, you could vend anything, man. You could come up with like food, beverages, artwork, clothing. It was all there, right? And we were headed to Maine for the final grand summer finale of the 3-day Phish show, right? And we started off in New York or so. I don't remember exactly. I could look it up. I think it was we left Darien Lakes. I think is what it was. I might be mistaken though. This was in 1996, and I was expecting that, and I rode with a bunch of people in a van, because the camaraderie that I expected from comedy, it was there.
Yeah, okay.
And that's why I really thought it was going to be there in comedy, because I had experienced it on tour with either the Dead or with Phish. People took care of each other. There was no, they only castigated. They only made someone an outcast if they misbehaved towards the fellow heads.
Yeah.
Not because of their race, not because of their none of that, right? So anyway, so I wake up and I'm like, where are we? I'm thinking they're going to say Maine. And they're like, Providence, Rhode Island. I'm like, Providence, Rhode Island? Why are we in Providence, Rhode Island? They're like, we're buying heroin. And for like 5 minutes, I'm like, you dumb motherfuckers. Why are we buying? What are you doing buying heroin? Blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, well, how much is it? They're like, $10. I was like, I got $10 here. So I got me a $10, a dime bag of heroin, right? And what I did was, and it was East Coast. So out here on the West Coast, it's called black tar heroin. It's like black, right? On the East Coast, they had China white.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, more processed, or I'm not really sure. I'm not a big heroin head. I'm just not. I'm not. You know. So, but what I had was like kind of gray. It was more along the lines of white, and it was more powdery and flaky, right? So I took what was in there and took half of it, right? And I snorted it, and I fucking hated it. I fucking threw up.
Yeah, that's what
I started puke. You puke too?
Yeah, that profusely.
Okay, so that is a sign of doing a heroin, but that's because I was out of it. I wasn't feeling strong at all. I was feeling the weakest I've ever felt. I was thinking, why the fuck would anybody want to do this drug? How in the world do all these people think this is the greatest thing and all that shit, right? So, and I just hated heroin and couldn't understand it, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how the fuck did Jerry Garcia get addicted to heroin when he had all those great psychedelics? Because I love LSD, I love mushrooms. I mean, all these.
I had a few edibles.
No, that's different. But okay, I mean, Joe Rogan actually said the other day that he considers, you know, he really thinks that, you know, with the right amount of edibles, it's almost like tripping, and I can see that, right? But I'm talking like actual LSD 25, lysergic acid diethylamide, or psilocybin out of a mushroom, or mescaline out of peyote, right? All of these are psychedelics, and they have a big benefit for certain people.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, does that stuff help you with your comedy?
Okay, let's see. Well, if you take enough mushrooms, this is proven scientifically, right? If you take enough mushrooms to have a spiritual, not just like a little buzz, but enough that you have like a spiritual moment, right? You're 80% more likely to be able to quit smoking. Oh, wow. Like 80% success rate, right? Which is unheard of. Like Chantix, shit, 80% of the people on Chantix that I know go crazy from the drug, Chantix. My friend went nuts, one of the smartest people I've ever met. He tried to quit smoking, he ate the Chantix stuff and went nuts. But the psychedelics, both mushrooms and LSD, they will increase your openness scale of your personality by a whole point, like a whole, you know, like whatever it is, right? I'm like what's the word I'm looking for? I'll think of it later. I'll look it up. It'll make you more open, and being more open is something that can be beneficial for comedy, you know. And it also, well, I mean, a lot of Joe Rogan talks about mushrooms all the time, you know. I mean, a lot. Tony Hinchcliffe and Matt Edgar both, you know, extol the virtues of mushrooms. All of them. I mean, what's the real, used to be a real mean comic. He's not so mean anymore. Tall, Jewish. Joe Rogan had him on just like in the last couple weeks.
Jeremiah? Is it Jeremiah?
Jeremiah Watkins?
Is that him?
No. I mean older, like around Joe Rogan's age. He actually did a TV show or something with him and Matt Edgar, talking about stories or whatever. Man, I'll think of it. Ari Shaffir.
Okay.
Ari Shaffir.
Yeah.
He loves mushrooms, psychedelics as well, you know. The thing about psychedelics is it's not something you do every day like people drink or smoke pot or anything else, right?
Okay.
It's more of like a mind cleanser or a soul cleanser. If I'm really fucked up down in the dumps, if I eat either LSD, I prefer LSD personally, right? Because for me, LSD gives me more of a visual high than the mushrooms do, right?
Okay.
And for me personally, now this is different for some people. For me personally, mushrooms makes me more, not feeling so good, right? And I throw up on mushrooms a lot of the time, and not as visual, right? But some people it's the opposite. Some people LSD makes them feel uncomfortable and maybe paranoid, and that's what mushrooms does to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what it will do is it will help you to be more open to new ideas, to new people, to new experiences. And I don't mean like in a weird way, but more along the lines of just realizing that we're all one, that humanity is connected and that we are all one. And that's why identity politics is such a problem with me, because it divides us. And we're all one, man. We are so connected. We are so alike. And our differences are so small. And what I try to remember is, it took me a long time to get crazy down here. I mean, I've lived here almost 5 years on Skid Row. But I just have to realize, man, maybe that person hasn't eaten today.
Yeah.
Maybe that person just found out that somebody died, or that they're going to die real soon, or they have cancer, or they haven't been able to take a shit in a week, or all these different reasons that I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And that's why I said it's only if they break the physical barrier and put their hands on me or one of my friends or family that then it's different, right? I try my best. But recently, I have to admit, it's not been easy because it's so frequent down here on Skid Row. And it's not just from black people or Hispanic people.
Yeah.
It's from white people. It's
Yeah.
from, they are nuts. You've lived down here, man. You know, right?
Yeah, this is like, you just see a face and anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Say what? Anything can happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing about psychedelics, for me, is that, it goes into what I was saying. You also have to realize that too much of anything is not going to probably be good, all right?
Right.
Too much of anything, right?
Yeah.
I have had three things. Have you ever had something you just wished for your whole life, right? Oh, I wish this, and you say it a lot to yourself. Oh, I wish I could, right?
Yeah.
Can you think of one right now and tell them about it real quick while I get something to show you?
I think I wanted a lot of money.
You want a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted.
Right.
But then that went fast.
Right.
Once I got it, I was like, oh shit, I could buy this, I could buy that, I could buy this, I could buy that.
Right.
And that shit just went fast.
Right. What, did you get some money finally?
Yeah.
When you got your disability?
No, I mean, I did SWAT. Not SWAT. I did this thing called Doubt.
What's that?
It was a TV show.
Oh, you were on a TV show?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was fun, man. Then I got a check and I was like, oh shit, that shit went fast.
How much was the check?
$2,400.
I'm about to get a check for $2,730.
Oh shit.
By the latest it'll come is 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay.
It's my second of my past due monies from disability, and then that's why I have this equipment. All this equipment came from the first past due monies that they owed me, the $2,730 that I got January 25th, I think it was January 26th, and that's where all this stuff came from. That's why, because instead, like most everyone that gets their disability, they blow their money on stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like drugs, alcohol, partying, all this stuff, right? But I'm pretty much partied out.
Yeah.
I mean, really, man, I have partied my life, okay? I mean, I have not held back And I have done just about any drug you can imagine. I have tried it. I have. I really have. I'm not going to be dishonest. I'm just being open about it. I don't feel ashamed about it. But I really would like to help make our country and the world in general a better place.
Yeah.
I would like to reduce suffering. And I realize that one of the ways to do so is through YouTube, podcasting,
Yeah.
getting your point across, having conversations one-on-one and in depth, and that's what I've done. And the next thing I'm going to do with my money that I'm getting this month is I am going to my neighbor upstairs, Wild Bill. He's actually, you can see him. I think it's episode 6 of the regular Obstreperous Eccentric. He's the musician, the mandolin player. Brilliant musician, great guy. He's like almost 70, like 20 years older than me, old enough to be my dad, right? And he is going to build me, because he's a retired steel worker, right? And he can build anything. He's going to build a trailer for my bicycle, because I'm planning next month to go to this writer's retreat out, past, going, past San Bernardino, up the mountain, going towards Big Bear, not quite to Big Bear itself, but on the way, and I'm going to ride my bike.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to take all the equipment to do the podcast, right? Yeah. And my dog. And I'm going to ride from here to there.
Oh, buddy.
Right? Does that sound fun and crazy and like a goal, right?
Yeah.
My purpose and goal, and then back. So that's about a 225-mile round trip. Yeah. Go out 100. It's like 111 miles out, 111 miles back. But I'm going to go out there and stay for 5 days and then come back. Okay. So in my life, I had 3 things I always wanted, right? Always talked about. I thought it would be great to buy a shirt that got me laid. Really, that the shirt itself got me laid. I always was looking for the perfect shirt, right? So this shirt got me laid in 2015. Okay, this shirt right here. I'm not kidding. Okay, it's not a joke. It's totally serious. If you think it's funny because it's true. This right here. What do you think? It's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool shirt. Yeah. You like? It's colorful. Yeah. All right, this is a Dead shirt. Grateful Dead shirt. I bought this at the second 50th anniversary Grateful Dead show in Santa Clara when they did 2 up there in Santa Clara, right? I missed the first one because of a bus fucking me over, right? And this shirt, I bought it in Santa Clara, and when I was in Santa Clara, I saw it across the parking lot, right? And I freaking twisted my ankle running to get to it, right? And it's a limited edition. I think there was 60 made total of this particular, shirt. And I think it cost $80, this shirt, right? But I was just like, that is a badass fucking shirt, right? So I got the shirt, and when I went to the Santa Clara show, I ran into a friend of mine, and he gave me $600 to come back here to Los Angeles and to rent a car, right? Yeah. And to go to Chicago to see the
oh, shit.
Yeah, and Mugzilla? You know Mugzilla? No. Mike Sofra.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Older guy, right? Okay, and Kenny Lyon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so me, Mike Sofra, Kenny Lyon, and my buddy from tour, Dave, jumped. Mugzilla rented the car. I gave him the money. He rented the car, and we drove from here to Chicago. And Kenny had never been, past. I don't know if he'd been out of, except for going to Guatemala to visit family. He had never been, I don't think, east of, Nevada or something, right? I don't remember exactly. And I remember we stopped at the Mississippi River. It was really fun, man. So the last night, so what we did, because I didn't have any money, the $600 is all we had. The dude that gave me the money sold nitrous oxide. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. So we sold nitrous oxide after the show at every Chicago show that there's 3, right? Yeah. And for the first show, my buddy from England that put his house up so I could get out and get some Scottish pussy, right? Yeah. she was a big girl too, that chick. But man, it was the last piece of pussy I was gonna have for 29 months or something. So you know, it was so big that even though I knew it was gonna be a while before I got some more pussy, I turned down seconds. I'm just saying. So we sold nitrous after the shows in Chicago, right there on right in front of Soldier Field on was it Michigan Avenue? I think it is, right? Have you been to Chicago?
Yeah, Michigan Avenue. Yeah.
Michigan Avenue. So, we sold, and nitrous is pretty crazy because balloons are $10 a balloon, and if you have a 20-pound tank of nitrous, you get about, you know, depending on the size of the balloons, about 275 balloons out of a 20-pound tank of nitrous. So what's $10 times 275? Real quick.
27500 2700.
2750. That's correct. That's what I'm saying. That's correct. So it would take 40 minutes or less to go through a whole 20-pound tank, and we would do a few of them. So that would be $2,600 just in 40 minutes. Yeah. That's pimp.
Yeah, it is pimp.
It was fucking awesome. I had never sold nitrous ever before on tour. Well, I had been in a car that somebody else was selling nitrous, right? But this was different. And the cops just let us go every night. So Kenny Lyon' job was to put the balloon on the nozzle, right? And hand the balloon. And my job was to take the money. And Mugzilla's job was to, you know, be like security, right? All right. And then the dude that we got the tanks from, he was doing his own tank, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was, first 2 nights went great. And I'll never forget, man, Kenny's eyes, you know, just Googled, you know, just wide as hell as we're in the car counting that first night, right?
Yeah.
What's the most money you ever made in a day? What was that? Well, how much money did you make on that, where you spent the money or whatever? That it went quick, you told me.
Oh, I spent it on dumb shit. Like I was
what?
taking Uber. I was taking like luxury lifts.
Like
and
what?
Luxury,
What?
you know, lifts. Lift. I
Like
was taking like the
Cabs?
yeah, but it was the
Ride share cabs, right?
yeah, but it was the luxury kind.
The luxury lifts.
Yeah,
What are those?
it's like when they have you in luxury cars.
How much extra are those?
About $20 extra.
Really?
$30 extra.
How big are they? How many people can you get in there?
You can get a luxury SUV. You can
Really?
yeah.
Really? There's such a thing?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? That might be the way to get to the show. Dude, is there any way I can convince you to go? If I buy your ticket, will you go see the show with us on Saturday?
What show is it called?
Dead & Co., which is, you know, Grateful Dead, basically. But just,
Oh yeah.
I'll buy you a ticket, bro.
Oh, I got something to do this Saturday.
I'd love for you. Anyway, so I'm wearing this vest, right? It's 8 up. I got a new one. It's LL Bean vest. I bought it in Columbia, Maryland, right?
Yeah.
And it's fucking 8 up, right? And people make fun of. But this motherfucker right here is badass. And these, you know, it's all ripped up now, right? These pockets, every one of these pockets was full, packed full of money, like 1s and 5s and 10s. And you know, the hundies I would put on the inside pocket, right? But this pocket was full. This pocket was full.
Yeah.
I'm saying 20 motherfucking $600, right? And we're counting out, me and Kenny, in the car, in the rental car. And he's like, I was like, I got the hundreds and 20s. I was like, you get the 10s, 5s, and 1s. And he was just, and we're just, what? And he was just like, woo, right? The thing is, though, that Kenny Lyon ate acid the whole time that we were there. I mean, like my buddy that I trusted and knew, gave him 1 hit the first night. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then he just went hog wild and let everybody dose him, right? Just let everybody feed him acid. And he didn't sleep at all. And he was up, just spun cookies, all right, a spunion. And the third night, he didn't make it. He didn't make it to the show, right? He just couldn't, he passed out, right? So we left him passed out and shit. He needed to sleep anyway. He was starting to be really wacky, right? So what sucked was I had to do his job. Brent did my job from the 2 nights. So Brent took all the money. We didn't get paid for 10 days from that last night because of Kenny, right? Before we got paid for that, me and Mugzilla.
Yeah.
And I was bent over the tank doing the balloons. I was in so much pain. I mean, I'm not young like Kenny, okay? It was killing me. And I'm bent over and I'm wearing this shirt right here, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I feel somebody rubbing my back. And then I hear a girl's voice. Well, I really like the shirt you're wearing. And I turned back around, and I looked at her, and I was like, I really like that I wore this shirt. And we went on a 26-day Bonnie and Clyde adventure.
26?
26 days. I mean, she wound up coming back here. It was just fucking awesome at first.
Yeah.
But then I found out that, I'm not going to go into it, right? Because I really, really still like her, okay? Yeah. And I wouldn't want to, talk out of school about her, and I'm not going to say her name or anything. I will show you a picture of her titties when we finish, okay? But she wound up being, the worst kind of woman, right? In my opinion.
Okay.
Which is a disingenuous woman that uses her pussy as a weapon.
Oh, wait.
So anyway, I wished for that, and I got it, and then that happened. So then I also always had wished, I wish I had my very own acid chemist, LSD chemist, right? I wish I had my very own, right? And then I suddenly did, right? And he was the biggest dick I've ever met in my entire life. He had $980,000 in his backpack in cash, and the motherfucker wouldn't make sure that I was fed. And he was wanted. He was being pursued by the U.S. Marshals for jumping his parole, right?
Yeah.
And I had to be his cover, right? That's what I'd wished for, and I got it, and then it didn't turn out to be what I thought it was going to be. And then the last one that I'll mention here is I always thought it would be great to have a close friend that was on Saturday Night Live. And then fucking Leslie Jones got on Saturday Night Live. Leslie Jones was in my apartment the day after I moved out. She was in my apartment telling me that she was going to be on Saturday Night Live, and I couldn't tell anybody, which I didn't. I didn't tell anybody. Just I promised, and I kept my word. And she wound up coming up with the idea that I would drive her car and stay at her house in Santa Clarita and, help her. And Leslie, if you ever watch this, just understand, I didn't need a place to live anymore. You were sitting in my apartment here, and you told me that you could have worked the hell out of this place, right? This would have been fine for you, and it was fine for me. I truly was trying to help you, Leslie, because you were so stressed out. She was so stressed out about moving to New York and about whether everybody was going to think she was funny and about could she write and all this stuff. Yeah. And I just was like, Leslie, I'll help. So she could calm down and drive forward. And it didn't turn out well for me doing that, because she got in her head she was helping me, and she wasn't, because it made it harder for me to get on stage. Everyone was jealous of the fact that I was close friends. And Eric Marino, that's why I fucking detest that piece of shit fuck Eric Marino, because he got so fucking jealous that me and Leslie had developed such a good friendship, okay? Mm-hmm. Man, fuck you, Eric Marino, man. You're a piece of shit. I just want you to know that, bro, from the heart, from deep down. And any time that you want to step to anywhere but the Comedy Store, please bring it. And you can even bring a couple of your friends so that I can just, feel good as I wax all your fucking asses. No, really, bro. I mean, just the shit that fucking asshole put me through. Lying, conniving piece of shit, Eric Marino. But what I'm trying to say with all those points is, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it.
Exactly.
And it's not going to be like what you thought it was in your head. Almost never. I mean, it never was for me.
Yeah.
Was it like that for you with the money? When you got your money?
I don't know it's gonna be that fast. I don't know it's gonna. I didn't know money can just leave you so fast.
Oh my God, it can leave you fast.
I didn't know that.
Fuck, I hear you, dude.
Shit just adds up. I spent $1,200 in one day. I said,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I hear you.
I was like, what the fuck did happen?
How did I do that?
Right, dude. Like,
And the next day you spent another $6.
right,
Right?
yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound, right?
And I'm like, fuck, man.
And then everybody that you fucking splurged and treated, how many of them actually fucking reciprocated in any way, shape, or form, or even appreciated what you did for them? Any of them?
Pick
At
a
all?
Pick a number and times it by 0.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Dude, Kenny and Mugzilla. Dude, here I take them motherfuckers to Chicago to see the 50th anniversary of the Grateful Dead. Kenny went, this is what Kenny did. This is Kenny. Without asking me or Mugzilla, right? He should have at least asked Mugzilla. He gets a quarter pound of weed fronted to him by Don Barris's weed dude, okay, at the store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't tell us that he has it. I have weed of my own that I grew, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't tell us that he has it until, like, Nebraska. Till fucking Nebraska. Then he stays spun on acid the whole time we're there. He doesn't, and there was people dying for fucking weed. They would have loved that weed. He never bothered to just figure it out on his own how to get some sandwich baggies and weigh it out. He was wrapping it up in newspaper, like bindling it, like it was Coke or something. So you couldn't even see it, right? And he left, and then he left for Europe. He like, after the last show. Oh, and by the way, this is what happened. Kenny, I meet that girl. Kenny shows up. He woke up at the hotel. He goes back to the hotel that we were partying at after the show every night and ate some more LSD.
Dude, buddy.
His logic was, I figured that would be the only way I could find you guys. And he did find us, so I'm not saying his logic was totally faulty, but please, Jesus. Then he leaves the weed, and it had already got mixed in with my weed. I was like, fuck this motherfucker. We just smoked it up. We just smoked that fucking weed up, right?
Yeah.
He got back, and so then he flew back, met his parents, and they flew to Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a blast. I've never been to Europe, okay? He talks about how poor he is and shit. I didn't ever have my parents take me to Europe.
Yeah, neither did I.
Right? and I am the white privileged fucking rich guy? No way. I fucking worked on the fucking muffin truck from 11 through 15 for 4 years for no money. So what happens is he fucking comes back from Europe and he tells Don Barris, and Don Barris is a weed guy, that I fucking, took the weed and blame me. No appreciation for me taking him. Do you know what I mean, bro? So I totally relate to what you're saying about people being unappreciative.
Ungrateful, man.
Ungrateful. Unfucking grateful assholes.
Yeah.
Unfucking grateful. And dude, he's 25 now, so 3 years. He was still 22. My IHSS provider, Reese, right? He just turned 19. He was 18 when he started working for me in April, right? Just turned 19. He's the most level-headed fucking dude I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
Most level-headed ever, especially at 19.
Yeah.
And he's 19-year-old, and he's a skateboarder, BMXer.
Yeah.
But he really is. Kenny would call himself a skateboarder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a video of him saying he's going to do a trick, just like a real simple fucking nose slide, I think it was called, right? He never landed the trick. I never saw him land a trick.
Yeah.
The night I met Reese, I go, before we do, let's go. I said, we went down to the second floor. I was like, any trick, just do any trick. He took off on the skateboard, Bam, he did a trick, landed it, bam. First time.
Yeah.
No practice, no warm up, bam, landed a trick. Dude. So then I rented a BMX bike. I was trying to get this girl like a couple months ago, help her kick heroin. So she got on Suboxone, so they won't get sick.
Right.
She got off the heroin for 11 days. She stayed here and kicked, right? And I got a BMX bike from my buddy. I rented it. I mean, cheap, you know. And then I was like, Reese, we're gonna go to the Ralph's. You're gonna ride this bike, right? So we're downstairs, right in the front, and I got my bike, and he's getting on and he goes, did I ever tell you I used to BMX? And I'm not even paying attention. I'm like, okay, cool. So we take off, and my bike is very fast. It's a racing carbon fiber bike, right? Mm-hmm. And that bike is heavy as hell, the particular BMX I'm talking about. And I know because I've had to fucking try. I couldn't even lift it. It was that heavy, you know?
Yeah.
And suddenly he goes by me. Like he pedaled so fast and then coasted by me. That's how fast, right? I was like, that's pretty cool. So then we're going to Ralph's. We're riding, and all of a sudden, this motherfucker, he fucking takes off extra pedaling and hits a curb, goes up in the air, does a 360, and lands. I was like, holy shit. Dude, skills, right? I don't think people really understand how much talent. I want everybody out there that if you ever watch this, find what you're good at and get better. And don't beat yourself up about not being good at something that you're not good at. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Do what you're good at. Don't try and be something that you're not. The other night, me and Reese were with the dude that I rented the BMX bike from, right? Mm-hmm. And he also skateboards.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm telling the story, right? And I'm like, Reese, go do a trick, right? Show him. Dude, take the skateboard, do it. Come on. And he goes, what trick you want me to do? I was like, the kicky, the what was it? Flaky hill kick flip. What, pretty badass trick, right? And he wasn't able to land it the night out here on the landing when we were on the podcast because he told me out here it goes like this. It's wavy. The concrete pour was wavy, right?
It's uneven.
It's uneven. That's why he wasn't able to land it, right? And so he goes. He then proceeds to do 7 tricks in a row. Lands every one, right? And I turned to Brian and I go, pretty good, huh? And he's trying to be, I can see he's nonplussed, and I can see that, but he's trying to, well, that's not bad, like that, right? Not declare how, right?
Yeah.
So then Reese rolls back over towards us, and Brian is going to try to show how he's right not to be impressed. He goes, so Reese, how long have you been skateboarding? And Reese goes, almost a year. His face fell, and I could just see, because it's like, yeah, you realize your whole life has been a lie, huh, Brian? You think you're a freaking skateboarder and you're not. All you fucking assholes out there that think your comics, declare that your comics, and that aren't funny, stop. Go do something fucking else, because you holding up the funny fuckers.
So what advice do you have for starting comics?
Huh?
What advice do you have for comics who's starting off?
Oh, man, that's tough, dude. That's really tough because, first off, on the one hand, you shouldn't take advice. But on the other hand, you need advice. Be careful of who you take advice from. See if they have ulterior motives. Many times, someone that is not as talented as you, but is smart enough to realize that you're a threat to them, at least in their opinion, they will pretend to be your compadre, your friend, and they will lead you down the wrong path. I mean, that's what happened to Kenny. I don't know. I've seen material of Kenny doing when he was 18, when he first started. Mm-hmm. Dude, he was fucking hilarious. And then he allowed other people to divert him onto something different that was not nearly as funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be careful who you take advice from. That's one thing. Don't buy into the just go up. First off, if you're at an open mic, if there's not an audience there, if it's only comics, unless it's all new material, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't keep doing your same set. Use the open mics to freewheel, you know, to just get a thought in your head and just go with it and try and fill and talk and see if some laughs come out of it. Use the open mics to grow, to grow your material, to make yourself have more material. When you go in front of a real audience, and you said 20, I say it's at least 10 people, non-comics, that's when you do your A game. Your A game. Your best material with your best timing and your best delivery. But I saw so many comics waste their energy on a bunch of other comics.
Yeah.
And then when they got in front of a fucking real audience, they bit the big one. Be confident in yourself as well.
Yeah.
The first time I performed in Vegas, I hadn't done an open mic in 18 days. In 18 days.
Yeah.
PJ Stansberry drove. You know PJ Stansberry?
Probably by face. I don't know by name.
Short from New Jersey. His dad recently died. He went back to New Jersey. His name's on the wall. I mean, he worked at the store before and everything, right? Great guy. Fun to be around. Unrecognized comic genius. Really. Unrecognized because of political correctness, right? But he took me to Vegas and introduced me to a lot of the guys that put on like the what's the word, journeyman shows, maybe would be a good word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like a big room, but I mean, he got me booked on them, and I went on stage and I hadn't been on stage in 18 days. I got on stage. I did, I think it was 7 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got off stage, and I walked by PJ. You know what he said?
What is that?
He said, "Wow, you're really funny. I didn't even know if you were funny or not." He had never even watched me before, but he took me to where there was a real audience, to where there wasn't a room full of comics, and I got the opportunity to shine. And that's what I try to tell, and they will not listen. And the thing is, most of those people that are telling you just get up every day, blah, 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 they have ulterior motives, a lot of them. They want you to fucking pack, like the improv, right?
Yeah.
They will hold you fucking hostage while they pull out their names. And that shit ain't random. They be pulling out their friends' names, and it's just some bullshit, dude. These motherfuckers do the same shit. They don't even know how to fucking control a room, most of them, and you're forced to sit through. It made me bitter.
Yeah.
It made me stay away from lotteries. Stay the fuck away from lotteries. Don't watch other open micers either. Fuck those other open micers, all right? If you want to watch comedy to get better, watch at the Comedy Store. You're allowed to go in for free and sit in the back if it's open. When I first got here, I sat and watched 2 nights in a row, because they had 2 open mics, Sunday and Monday. Sunday and then Monday, right? When I first got here in 2012, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
I sat from the first open mic all the way to the fucking close, Don Barris. 2 nights in a row. All the way through.
Yeah.
And then I would go back and I would watch like Bobby Lee, great funny guy. Leslie Jones, of course. Oh my God, just like that's like just eye-opening.
Yeah.
Now, what would you think about the advice that I just gave? Would you disagree? What would your advice be to the new open micers, or new comics?
My thing is, my first thing is, when it comes to your material, first off, this comedy is the only thing where I feel like comedy, maybe music too, you just have to be yourself. Like, don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be what you think people want to see.
Your own voice,
like,
right?
Yeah, your own voice. See, it's like,
Hell yeah.
With me, Yeah, I remember the first time I ever bombed. I was talking about smoking weed, never smoked. I was talking about drinking alcohol, never done that. I was talking about.
You're fucking preaching wisdom
I
right
was-
now. Tell them. Tell these fuckers out there, man.
I was talking. Oh shit, my bad.
Oh, oop.
I was-
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
You know, I was just talking about.
I like it. You're getting excited about fucking the wisdom. Go ahead.
I was just talking about shit I've never been through. And
Didn't
they're
work,
like,
did it? Didn't
no.
work. Hell no.
That was the
They
longest.
can tell.
That was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
They can tell.
I
dude.
almost cried. Literally, I almost cried, man. Because I was like, fuck it, I'm never doing comedy again. But, you know, then like, I had to just ask myself, who was I? What did I want to see in the comic? You know, you have first off, you have to be yourself, and other people's advice. The thing is, with me, I personally, when somebody says that's not funny, I would try it 3, 4, 5 times at another open mic or a show or whatever before I throw it away. I don't listen to the that's not funny. I would only listen to like, hey, you should add this to your joke, like you talking about that girl, you know, that add to put it in the pussy. You know, you add it to it. I don't think, because what I find funny and what you find funny, maybe 2 different funnies, you know?
It's possible. Very likely even. Because people are different.
Yes, exactly. People are different. And that's the thing about comics. They will tell you something's not funny. I'm like, no, it's not up to you.
But they don't tell you sometimes. That's even worse.
I mean,
they won't even give you feedback sometimes.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give me feedback. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but like, you know, feedback. The only thing I feel like the feedback is, you know, about what they add to it, add to the joke, because like even like if you do bad, they'll tell you, hey, you did bad. I'm like, fucking duh, I was up on the stage. I didn't hear the laugh. Like, don't tell me that shit. I'm not delusional.
What did I do right?
I'm not delusional. You know how like some of these delusionals like, hey, I had a pretty good set. Oh, really? Did you? Like, don't sit here and fucking lie to me. But anyways, yeah.
But it's so hard to judge when you're only in front of comics. That's what I keep saying. That's what I stressed, and they hate to hear that. Go ahead. I'm listening, man. More of that, because you're fucking preaching wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You shouldn't perform in front of other comics, because the thing is, they're not they're not hearing your jokes as an audience member. They hear your jokes as a comic. So they want to dissect your shit instead of.
They'll also steal the good shit too.
Yeah, they would. I've seen it. Yeah, we all seen it. Especially at the comedy store. That's one thing. Like, unless I'm at I wouldn't do one of my best materials unless I'm doing a real show at the comedy store, because people steal.
Who's the biggest name that stole a joke from you?
For me, I've never. I mean, like
Dave Chappelle for me.
I've never got a joke stolen from me.
That fucker. Fuck you, Dave Chappelle.
Oh shit.
You all scared now.
Nah, I ain't scared. I'm just like, oh shit. Okay, but I think I've seen what's his name still.
Who?
What's the guy? Dan Cook. I've actually seen him cook still.
From you or
no,
from
not from me, but from another comic. That's why him and Jamie got into it.
Jamie
from the Laugh Factory.
No, did he get unbanned finally? Because he was banned for life.
Yeah. That's why they got banned. That's one reason.
But he got banned. He got banned for fucking.
for that girl.
For abusing verbally abusing a waitress.
Yeah. But like, it's some restaurants. You know, some restaurants around Laugh Factory don't want to let him go there. Like that taco place right across the street from there, they will not let him in there because he's.
I'm not. You know what? I mean, a lot of people will feel sorry. That motherfucker is a multi-millionaire. I can't feel sorry about somebody that's he could buy and set up and do. He get on a podcast and be. I mean, this is to me the zeitgeist right now is podcasting.
Yeah.
Because you can do long things, one-on-one with someone, or a couple of people, 3 or 4 people, and you can do for 3-4 hours, and you can just riff and go for it, like the one they did election night.
Okay.
You know, when Trump got elected and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. Everybody thought I did because I was white and a man. And I'm just like, really? Really? Now, I like Trump. I'm going to vote for him in 2020. I am. I'm going to vote for Trump in 2020. If you don't like it, suck my fucking balls, okay?
Yeah.
And whoever you vote for, go vote. Don't. You know how many comics bitch about Trump and did not vote? I mean, you voted, right? Please tell me you vote.
Independent.
But I'm saying you voted, right?
Yeah.
You're registered, right?
Yeah.
Give me some, bro.
Independent.
Hell yeah. But see, the reason that I voted, I was registered as a Democrat. And I did that even though I wanted to be independent so that I could vote in the primary. See, you can't vote in the primary if you register as independent. You only get to vote in the general election, right? And I really wanted Bernie, you know? I'm regretting that right now, I think. I don't know if that would have been a good idea. I'm sort of, you know, but at the same time, Bernie would have been better than Hillary by far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know?
Totally.
I didn't vote for either Hillary or Trump. I voted for the same party that I voted for the presidential election before, the Peace and Freedom Party. Before they had Roseanne Barr, that's who I voted for. Yeah, the second Obama election. And the reason I didn't vote for Obama twice, I voted for him the first time, was he lied and didn't do the shit that said he was gonna do, and he didn't take care of the fucking. He could have at least legalized weed, okay, instead of the way that, you know, he pretended like he was going to. I mean, that motherfucker was a huge pot smoker when he was growing up. You know that, right? You've heard all that. You've heard all about that, right?
Yeah, he had a few jokes about it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, stop. Oh, anyway, go ahead. More comedy stuff. More comedy tips for starting out.
Yeah, like I said, I think the biggest thing is just be yourself.
Be yourself. What else?
Be yourself. Like he said, don't. If you have the same jokes, don't go to the same jokes as with the comics that I already seen you before.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly,
right?
No sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Listening to this, and people are like, well, they're just trying to work on their beats. It's like, motherfucker, do some mirror work.
Yeah, you cool.
Stop doing mirror work in front of us.
Yeah.
Stop taking that precious stage time to go up there and do the same shit we've seen for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know? And don't care. Don't care. Bomb.
Yeah.
Get up there and bomb and not care. Don't fucking care.
Yeah, bombing.
Bomb it. That's what you're supposed to do, because that's where you learn the most.
That's the
right. I think.
Yeah, bombing. Man.
You learned a lot that night, didn't you? When you bombed the fuck out, and you were fucking. You about almost cried, right? Right.
Yeah.
Shit. When Leslie Jones talked about the first time that she went on stage at the Comedy Store and bombed and everything, right? Yeah. And she bombed so bad, she threw up when she got off stage. And the fucking comic that was hosting, a female comic, was like, "Sick it up, sick up that unfunny shit."
Yeah, they'll do that. I bombed once in the comedy in the main room, and what's his name? Willie Hunter. Like as my friend was taking out my chair, he's like,
Willie Hunter, great guy,
yeah.
Great guy. He was one of the ones that was like, your dad moved from West Virginia to Anniston because he's right from there, right? He moved to Alabama. Why? Why would anyone move to Anniston, Alabama? I was like, thank you, Willie, thank you. Yeah. Willie, big ups to you, bro. Much love. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was as my friend I bombed, I ate shit. The guy, as my friend put down my chair from the stage, he was like, yeah, everybody's watching him. You know, and I said, that's the best thing you did the whole night. I said, oh shit. You know, it's like you're gonna bomb, and the MCs are gonna fuck with you for bombing.
Yep. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just fucking. You know.
Have thick skin and don't care. Don't care. Don't care what anybody fucking thinks. Okay. When you're starting out, no one is depending on you for a fucking paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay solo as long as you can.
Yeah, don't make the mistake of, you know, I love having friends around me, right? Yeah. And the camaraderie, man, that was a mistake. That was a fuck, because you're going to be judged upon your fucking friends. If you have comic friends, everything they do, they're going to judge you for it too.
And this thing, the funny thing is, as you get better, and you're starting getting shows, like those people will get so jealous of you,
they want to fucking ride your coattails.
And this is my thing, like, if you don't find me funny, that's okay. Comedy is
perfectly
subjective.
Okay.
That is okay. However,
not objective. It's subjective. Exactly. No, you said subjective. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. You're totally correct. Yeah. Comedy is subjective. Each person has their own opinion.
Yeah. And that's okay. You know, they'll sit there like these people that you say you came up with. They'll fucking be like, oh, I don't know. He's not funny. She's not funny. They're not funny. I'm like, dude, chill out. Like I said, I've been homeless before. These people that see me homeless and I started getting shows were they were my best friends when I was homeless. Like, hey, yeah, keep on going. You'll do it. But when I was starting to get shows and started getting a name for myself, they was like, oh yeah, he's not funny. I don't see why he's above me. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You see me literally sleeping outside.
Who is it that name 5 comics that you really respect as human beings, not just as being funny?
Okay.
Because really, who was it that said one of the? I've heard a couple different comics say basically all of y'all are funny, right? I mean, really. Dave Chappelle said that. I heard him say that. I think. Anyway, go ahead. Name 5 if you can that you just respect as human beings.
I like Teddy Ray.
Fucking hell yeah!
Man, Teddy Ray's my
Teddy Ray, man, him and Valentino.
Oh yeah, I like Valentino too.
But I'm talking like bigger, above them, like like above that level. I'm talking like comics. Well, I mean, a little bit older than, a little bit more like in it, a little longer than them.
So,
you know,
Josh Nasser.
Josh Nasser.
Yeah, I like him. He's a really good guy to me.
I don't know. He's kind of fake to me. I mean, dude, I've done nothing but be nice to that fucking guy and shit, you know. And he fucking wound up. I gave Lindsay Hitt thing of her uncle was. She introduced this guy as her uncle, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't really her uncle. I just found out recently, right? Of course, do you know Lindsay Hitt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's great. I really love you, Lindsay. Okay, and I'll eat your pussy for a week, but. You kind of are kooky a little bit, okay? Anyway, so she introduced this guy, and he was dying of cancer, right? He had brain cancer, right? And she took me to visit with her at Veterans Hospital and everything, right? So I gave her this big jar of coconut ganja butter for him, to help him, right? To get better, right? And she made fucking brownies for Josh Nasser.
Oh, shit.
And it just kind of fucking irritated me and pissed me off, you know? That was uncalled for, I felt. Yeah. Did you like this hat, by the way? This is what I wore. This is my I wore this in 2015 at the Grateful Dead. Jerry Garcia used to wear one of these like this, but this is what I wore yesterday for July 4th. This is our July 4th show, everybody. Yeah. It's July 5th, but hey, you know.
Yeah, fuck it, right?
You like the hat?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It used to light up. It had battery and stuff. But okay, but Josh Nasser, I'm glad you know who else? Josh Nasser, that's the first one. That about that level, about that length in comedy. It's not easy because you can start to think of it and you're like, oh yeah, but they did this to me or they did this to my friend or something, right? You know what I mean?
Like, not even to my friend. It's just like, yeah, did that to somebody, and I thought that was.
You know what I mean?
So fucked up.
Or an acquaintance, just somebody you know that they did something fucked up and you witnessed it, and then they had no remorse and they do that shit. They'll do that shit, right? Yeah. Go ahead, come on, see if you can name 4 more. You got 1 down. He was all right most of the time, but man, he could be. You know, he's.
I like Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe's a cool guy.
Okay, Tony. I do like Tony. Yeah. You know, my favorite hipster cuck. I think I said that earlier, right?
Yeah. Shit. Fuck. Can we say Leslie?
Sure, I love Leslie Jones.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, all the shit that happened with me and her, right? Yeah. And just so all y'all know, me and Leslie never, knocked boots? Is that how you call it? Or that, right? We never had sex. If she'd asked me to, I would eat the peanuts out of her shit. Is how much I respect her from her. Dude, I'm telling you, dude, above and beyond, the funniest person I've ever seen live is Leslie Jones. I will fucking say that forever because I've yet to have someone be funnier than her. Go ahead. So I totally respect that you said that.
Shit. Oh man.
You got 3. Okay. Dude, I'm gonna go. Let me go. You ready? Let me try something. Right. Matt Edgar, Sandy Danto, Earl Skakel, Sarah Tiana, Leanne Tucker. there's my top 5. All of them are funny, but just really like if the aliens came to me and said, "Look, the planet is about to be destroyed, and you can pick this many people, and 5 of them can be comics." Those are the 5 comics and their families that I would take with me to space to live.
Okay. Tiffany Haddish and Whitney Cummings. Those 2.
Oh yeah,
Those are
okay,
2.
Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany. I like Tiffany.
And Whitney.
Very funny and a very a good soul.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You got to replace Josh Nasser though. After you say it, after the list you just made, you can't have him on the same list as them.
I like Whitney Cummings too.
No, I'm saying you said Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings. Let's go with this with your list. Whitney Cummings, Tiffany Haddish, Leslie Jones, Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm down, and pick another one besides Josh Nasser. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Just one.
Josh
You know.
Nasser's a cool guy.
No, dude.
He always good.
He's
man.
fake. He is.
He
He's fake.
picked me up a few times when I needed to go to the comedy store. Oh shit. Dude, it's not easy at all. We just talked about this earlier about how
I
fucked
know,
up.
man. 97% versus 3%.
And it's fucked up that I got to think about this.
Oh, another one I came up with, Brian Scalaro. Fucking super funny guy and just a great dude.
Oh, can I say Gerard Carmichael then?
Oh yeah, Gerard. Woo, Gerard.
I replace
Big ups to Gerard Carmichael and Brian Scalaro out there for sure. Those 2,
Oh, yeah.
great people.
Jack Knight's a good guy. You like him?
Who?
Jack Knight. Jack Knight.
Everybody's favorite rapist.
Oh no, he's not a rapist. Jack Knight. He's like
Young black guy that used to work at the store.
I don't think he ever worked at the store.
Oh, maybe I'm confused.
Oh.
I'm thinking of somebody else then. Jack Knight. Can you look? You show me a picture real quick. And the person I'm talking about when I said everybody's favorite rapist, I'm not being serious. What happened was, whoever I'm thinking of, this girl wanted to get a tour of the Comedy Store, and he took her on the tour of the Comedy Store, and they were because they were messing around or whatever, and her friend got jealous, and said some shit, and I think. There's 3 different people here. Oh yeah. I don't think that's not who I was talking about. I'm trying to remember who it was that. But anyway, the thing is that he didn't do anything wrong, and he got in trouble. It might have been Jack Knight though. Man, it's fucking 5 years ago or whatever.
Oh, you talking about this guy?
Yeah, Trey
Trey
Stewart. Yeah,
Stewart,
he didn't.
okay.
He didn't do anything wrong, man. He didn't do anything wrong, and I knew he didn't do anything wrong. And I was like, "Hey, everybody's favorite rapist," and he got mad, or not mad at me. He was like, "Dude, man, please don't." I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm just playing, man. I love you to death, bro."
Oh yeah, because
That
a girl sucked his dick in her.
Yeah, dude, listen. That's what I'm saying about third wave feminists. That's the problem with them. They will accuse people of doing something that they didn't do. They will say that guys are this and that. It's like, look, and the one that did it was jealous that she wasn't sucking his dick.
Yeah.
It was her friend that fucking caused all the ruckus, and he
Yeah.
didn't do anything that she didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Big ups out there, Trey. Okay, man, you're all good, bro. Jack Knight. Now I got it in my head. Very funny guy.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
very
good.
funny. So, Leanne Tucker, she would do my show here. She did my show here a couple of times, and when I had a show here, once a month for like a year at the Star.
Okay.
And just great person. Now, as far as people that have like started around the same time as me, Stephanie Simbari.
Okay.
She started just a little bit before me. Brilliant. I remember I said she was talking about sucking dick and how she wouldn't suck. She wouldn't feel bad about any other comic enough to suck their dick, right? It was fucking hilarious. This is a rock paper, right? And she was riffing. It was awesome. That's what I love to see. someone that just was talking, being funny. Now that's what I always aspired to do, was to just talk freewheel, have a general idea, have jokes to insert, but not be like you were scripted. Do you know what I mean?
I feel you.
That to me is comedy. Is it's right. One of the best jokes I ever wrote was I wrote it on stage in the moment and got the big laugh, and I just, dude, that I almost came in my pants, dude, right? So Stephanie Sambari, awesome, and she's saying that. So I went up at Rock Paper after that, and I said, I was like, Stephanie, just out of interest, how much fame and money do I gotta have before I can get you to suck my dick? She thought that was hilarious. Great, Stephanie Sambari, you were the bomb. Okay. How about and so like Stephanie Sambari, but Nicole Amy Schreiber.
Okay.
Love you, Nicole. Dana Moon.
Oh yeah.
Quirky. Oh, all right. This is the story I want to tell you about my first night doing comedy. Right. So, I had sat there the weekend before, Sunday and Monday, and then I think it was Monday night, right? Whatever night they used to have it, the Red Rocks or whatever down the street from the Comedy Store, they had an open mic. Do you remember that? It was, you know what I'm talking about, right? Was that Monday or Sunday? It was Monday, right?
Monday.
Okay, so I had just sat through 3 nights of comedy, like Sunday, Monday the week before, and then Sunday the night before, of open mics and all the people, right? Oof, wear anybody out, right? And I was living in my car when I moved out here, right? And I had my dog. So I hadn't had a shower. And Dana asked if I wanted to walk down with her to Red Rocks to sign up. And I was like, all right. So we walked there, and on the way, I told her about how, I felt so good about being at the Comedy Store, and I felt that okay, like 3 months before, I had OD'd by accident on Suboxone, okay? Because I had gone to this festival, and I had forgotten my pain meds. And everybody was acting weird because I was asking if anybody had a couple of Vicodin. And this one dude talked to me, and he misunderstood me and thought that I was taking 22 Vicodin a day when I had said that I was taking 2. So he gave me a Suboxone. Luckily, he said, maybe you should split it in half since you haven't done it before, right? And it's this like film. Have you ever, do you know what it is at all? It's like a piece of like plastic or like a mini fruit roll-up kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So and it dissolves on your tongue and stuff, right? So I, took it, did it, ripped it in half, and did it, and I was also on LSD, right? And luckily, my friend who had invited me to the place, it was a nurse, registered nurse. Big ups, man! Thanks for saving my life that night. And he luckily had Narcan. This is before Narcan was like I have Narcan now. They gave me. They'll give you, if you just take a 5-minute little crash course on how to deliver it to somebody, they will give you Narcan so you can save somebody's life, right? Here in LA. But at that point, it wasn't, especially in Virginia, it was not, or West Virginia either, it's like on the border of West Virginia and Virginia, it was not easily attained, right? And he luckily had some. And he said the last thing I said was, there's dancing bears, Grateful Dead dancing bears throughout the moon. And then I stopped breathing.
Oh, shit.
And he had to shoot me up with the Narcan twice, one in each arm to bring me back, right? And it was kind of peaceful. And I was telling Dana Moon this, right? And it probably freaked her out a little bit, right? And Dana, I hope you get the guy, because you deserve the best dude. I hope you get the best dude, and you really should try your best to start having babies, because that's you agree, right? Dana, I think Dana, I think you'll be a great mom. Okay. Anyway, so we walk down, and dude, she's sexy as hell. I mean, she is, right, and funny. And I always like sexy, funny chicks, and very pretty face too. And not only did we kind of walk there and back quick, but being near, my body has naturally started, throwing off pheromones, right? On top of being, not bathed that day either, right? Because living in my car. And damned if that wasn't the night I got on stage. And fucking Benji Aflalo was a fucking host. And I didn't do very well. It's so weird. You know the curtain at the back of the stage?
Yeah.
I got the mic and walked to the back of the stage and looked in the curtain, right? And I'm not even facing the audience. I was like, wow, this is cool back. I could grow some weed back here. I got a huge laugh, right?
Yeah.
And my dumb ass said to myself, in my head, I'll never forget, I was like, you're doing too well. You should tone it down or people aren't going to like you. I'm not kidding, bro. This is my first time on stage. This is what went through my head. And it kind of, fucked me up, that big first laugh, right? And then I didn't do so well the rest of it. And then Benji fucking got on stage. He's like, oh my God, it smells so bad up here. Because I was reeking from not having a bath that day, living in my car, having walked with Dana Moon at a fast pace down to Red Rocks and back. Was it Red Rocks, the name of that bar? Something like that?
I think it was. It was around there.
Where, what's his name worked, man? Fucking man, I love that guy. He said, like the first time he saw me perform, he said, dude, watch him. He's gonna, I really appreciated that he said that about, I was gonna, he has something, whatever you might think a gem, he's got something that a lot of you want or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or need or whatever, right? And I'll think of it, his name. And then, so I did that, and then walking with Dana, I was like, man, I was so hoping I was going to get in her pants. Well, really, that's not accurate. I was so hoping I was going to get to marry her and have her be the mother of our kids, right? I mean, really, dude, that's how, Dana, you're just a doll, Dana. You're so fucking hot. And then being nervous on stage. First performance at the Comedy Store, right? Flop sweat from fear, right? And stress, right?
Yeah.
So I reeked. He wasn't kidding. I mean, it was a miasmic fucking odor and so that was my first performance. You asked earlier, so I thought I'd tell you, right? And it's a little embarrassing, but hey, man, it was take a licking and keep on ticking.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
keep on ticking.
Keep on ticking, man. And if you got to take a break for a while, do it.
Yeah, do that.
And if you got to do something different for a while, do it. Try new things.
Yes.
Until someone is paying you, you don't know nobody shit.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
If somebody's now Roseanne Barr, now that was fucked up because all those people were depending on that paycheck, and she fucked it up on Ambien. Now I can relate to being fucked up on Ambien. I took that shit one time. I was like, fuck that. I'll stay up.
You see, this is my thing about.
Do you know Ambien? Have you ever taken it?
No, but
dude,
I know this is my thing about Roseanne. That her whole situation.
Keep talking.
Was it really? I understand. Okay, yes, it was fucked up, but we're acting like she never said fucked up shit before.
Dude, she's a comic. You're supposed to say fucked up shit. You
but,
really are.
But what I'm saying is I'm not saying
Do you agree with that?
What she said was right. What she said was right? No, not at all. It was so fucked up.
That chick does look Jewish, though.
Yeah, but like, okay,
no, I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah,
she does. I agree with Joe Rogan. She looks Jewish.
Who are we talking about? The girl he was talking
the one
about?
that she made the comment about, or whatever, right?
Yeah, but it was.
So she thought she was talking about a fellow Jewish person. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I'm saying, like, I was fucked up, but to sit there and be like, oh yeah, like you didn't know who she was. You knew who the fuck she was. Like, oh, Roseanne. You knew who Roseanne was.
Oh, I'm saying Roseanne didn't know. I believe her when she said she didn't know that she was black.
And
that's all I'm saying.
Okay, but
I believe that part, and I also believe the part about the Ambien, because I had a weird experience on it, and I've had friends that have done I've had friends that have driven on it.
Yeah.
To another state.
Yeah.
My sister woke up in 2 states over. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
keep talking. I'm listening.
I was just saying, like, yeah, like I said, what she said was fucked up, but
I agree.
But to take her whole show,
yes, that was wrong, right?
They knew who Roseanne was,
right?
Like, let's not act like she never had any controversy before.
Didn't it feel like it was because the show did so well, and she, in the show, was a Trump supporter?
I feel like
didn't you feel like
no? But you see, I feel like Wanda Sykes.
Yep.
She quit. She quit the show. She's like, I'm not coming back, and I feel like that was a big domino effect.
Wrong of her, I felt too.
I mean, Was it? I mean,
Of Wanda to do that, a fellow comic to do that to another comic, I felt was wrong.
I mean,
a fellow woman comic too.
I mean, that's perception, I guess. Like for her to quit, I'm not gonna say she was. I don't know, but for her to feel bad, Wanda Sykes to feel bad about it.
As a comic, I felt that's what it was. The fact that Wanda is a comic who says fucked up shit too, because she's a comic. That's what comics do.
But
don't you say fucked up shit sometimes? Trying to get a laugh.
I've said plenty of fucked up shit.
That's what I'm saying.
This girl stopped fucking with me because I said I just got a STD check, and she's calling me like Ann. And I said, you should get yourself checked.
Oh, that's fucking fucked up. That's hilarious, dude.
She calls me. I was like, hey, I was joking. I'm clean. And she said, that's not something you should fucking talk about. I said, oh.
Listen to this one. You know who Damien Merlina is?
Nah.
Damien Merlina, she's her name's on the wall. She's fat.
Yeah, okay.
She's got one arm.
Okay.
You know who she is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, I generally don't like fat chicks, right? I mean, I really don't like fat chicks. I really don't, okay? But she is very funny, right? And I really dug her when we kicked it for like, I don't know, 6 weeks, right? 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, right? And and Erica Ennis ain't got nothing on. You want to talk about a cavernous pussy? I mean, Damien Merlina's pussy is the most cavernous pussy I've ever come across. Like I don't have a huge dick, right? But it ain't tiny, okay? I don't have a micro penis, right? And it's got a decent thickness, right? And I could get my whole hand in her pussy and jack my dick off in her pussy.
Oh, shit.
That's a big pussy, okay? I mean, I'm happy to say, hey, I enjoyed having sex with Damien Merlina. I did, right? But do you know what upset her? Was that I did a podcast called Mildly Uncomfortable with Rena Hundert and fucking Kevin Corcoran. And we're telling stories of this and that. And I talked about this time that this chick I met in New York, she had, not cerebral palsy. She had, I can't remember. What's cystic fibrosis? What's something? What do you have, bro?
Scoliosis.
That's what she had. Scoliosis, but she could still walk. She wasn't in a wheelchair, right? But she picked me up, and we're in my suite, and the way that she let me know what was going to happen, right? She just started taking her clothes off in front of everybody, and grabbing my dick, and everybody. I was like, all right, everybody out of the room, because it was my hotel room, right? And had a blast time, And I said in the story, I said, hey, because Kevin and Rena kind of wanted to make fun of the fact that I had sex with her, which I didn't appreciate because, I don't hold someone's disability against them. Like I said, I don't judge people on anything but how they treat me. Or my friends, or my family, okay? Okay, if I don't know the person, I don't know what happened. But if I know what happened and they're fucked up, then I'm going to be like, look, that was fucked up. Yeah. But random strangers that I don't really know the whole story, because there's always a whole story, And I said, just trying to be funny on the podcast, I was like, hey, crippled chicks need love too. And fucking Damien went back through all of our podcasts and heard me say that and fucking got pissed off. Like I had fucking killed a baby or something, okay? And that was like the beginning of the end of us hanging out. Dude, it really, it just was, it was a bummer. Because that was the first comic chick pussy I'd have gotten. That was and even then I was better looking than her. before I lost all the weight.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest and not being disingenuous, right? I mean, dude, the woman needs to go on a fucking diet, dude. She really does. And the first time we kicked it, her pussy tasted great, you know? But last May, I was on, I started doing the Ding Dong show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she picked me up at the Comedy Store on a Monday night.
Yes.
She took me to Carney's, right? She lives near Carney's, right? She takes me to Carney's, and I'm broke. I didn't have my SS. I was living on $221 a month. No money.
Yeah.
We go to Carney's. She didn't even buy me breakfast. She didn't even pay, even though I spent my last bit of money on the crappy Carney's fucking, breakfast, right? Or whatever. And then we go back to her house, and I just wanted to go home, man. I was tired. I didn't want, but she wanted to fool around. And I was like, man, all right, I'll give it a go. Even though the time before, and I remembered it vividly, she wasn't really appreciative of the attention that I showed her, right? So we start messing around a little bit, and then she took her pants down or whatever, right? And it wasn't the same. Her pussy was not smelling like roses like 2 years before, okay? It was not smelling very good at all. And then she said, she goes, why don't you take your finger and put it in my vagina? And I was like, I fucking jumped up. I was like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
Holy shit.
And give me a lift right now. I want to go home. And she got me a lift. Because I didn't have any money because I spent it on that fucking crappy ass fucking meal, right?
Yeah.
And then she went and said some negative shit about me. But that's what I was feeling, and I was honest. Whereas most people, especially comics, females, they don't seem to want to be honest. Females in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and maybe it was a little too much to say it that way, but she really hurt my feelings a lot back in 2014. I mean, I did everything she wanted. I didn't tell nobody that we were messing around back then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't talk about her on the fucking podcast. I didn't share that information with Rena or fucking Kevin, either one of them. They wanted to know, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't. I kept the confidence, and then, she let me down over being funny. Because it was funny, that podcast. When I said that about, crippled girls need love too, or crippled chicks need love too, everybody there laughed, okay? Everybody in the room laughed because I was in the moment and I was being funny. And it's just a bunch of fucking nothing. And that was the start, really, the start, that right there, her doing that, of my red pill journey. And I'm sorry if that was too much for you, man, but that was a deeply traumatic thing for me to deal with. To have, because I personally, listen, if you're a super hot, smoking hot, funny, or even not funny, but just a smoking hot babe, young and pretty, and you let me fucking, fiddle with you, and you fiddle with me, I am going to appreciate you for the rest of my life. And any time that I can help you in any way, shape, or form, if you want me to, I'll fucking help to fucking, I'll take your lover's dick and shove it in your pussy for you, okay? Probably not quite that much, but seriously, okay? Because I appreciate people that do things for me, and I don't take it for granted. And you know what? Most of the women that and I'm not just talking from personal experience, from what I hear from other guys, they don't appreciate shit.
Oh, no.
They want more for less. What is your opinion about that? I'll shut up for at least 10 minutes.
About appreciation?
Yeah, all of that, what I just said. Tell me your opinion, man, please, honestly.
About the girl, some people, I know a lot of handicapped people who don't like the term crippled. They don't even like the term lame. Like, they think that's derogatory. So like I've had a friend who thought the F bomb, the derogatory for gays, the F bomb is the same as lame.
What do you mean?
Like
Say the words.
faggot
Yeah.
and lame.
Just so you know, always say the words to me, and this is why. I believe in Lenny Bruce, what he said. Never don't say a word.
I just don't want to offend anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck it. Offend the people that are going to be offended are going to be offended anyway.
I mean,
Be honest, man. Go ahead.
So I know some people who thinks that says that's the same thing.
What?
Lame and faggot. They put that in the same category. I can see why, because like I said, I know I've actually people. The thing is, what society doesn't talk about is the struggles of being disabled, but they will talk. They can talk about the struggles of being gay, because when some of my best friends, I think I had two good friends who was born with cerebral palsy.
Uh-huh.
You know what their moms did? They left them in the hospital.
That's fucked up.
When they was born. Like, you're already helpless as a baby, but you're even more helpless. I mean, you're helpless as a baby, so when you find out that you have this cerebral palsy, you're going to grow up with cerebral palsy.
Do you know what cerebral palsy is not genetic? It's caused by the fucking hospital fucking up. Are you aware of that? It's the hospital allowing it's from lack of oxygen to the brain.
To the brain, yeah.
And it's not genetic. It's fucking the hospital fucked up. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they still left them, so you're still your responsibility.
I agree. But what I'm saying is that's such another level of fucked upness. And for the longest time, people didn't even know that. Go ahead, keep talking, man. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to throw that in there because that's something that I know. I had, go ahead.
Yeah. So
everything you're saying, man, I'm so on agreeing. Go ahead.
It's just like it's like I said, it's such a direct. Some people find lame as a derogatory word. To me, like you said earlier, if you don't, cause physical harm to me, or if you don't try to stop me from getting to where I want to go, then that's where we stop. That's where we have to draw the line.
I agree.
Don't.
I totally concur with what you're saying.
Don't stop me from where I need to go, or don't touch me.
Say whatever you want about me.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want, okay?
Yeah.
Here's the best thing. I think a lot of people should remember this. You remember this, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But they should finish it because it should say, but words will never hurt me unless I'm a weak cuck and I let them. Words are nothing. Stop letting words hurt you, okay? That's what I'm saying. Stop it. There's no reason to let words hurt you, in my opinion, okay? That's what I'm saying, dude. Because I've had a lot of... I was fat as a kid. I mean, when I was born, can you see the scar on the side of my... Can you see it? There's a scar.
Yeah, that's it.
You see it? Is this side?
Yeah.
Okay. Right side, okay. So I had like a caul, I had this growth on my head when I was born. I had to have it, removed by a brain surgeon, just in case it was all the way in, because they didn't have MRIs and imaging and shit. Yeah. It, from what I understand, it didn't go into my brain, but I had a brain surgeon that removed it, right, when I was like 3 months old, okay? I thought I was retarded till I was 7. Oh, I used the word retarded, and the people get upset, like, fuck you. I was retarded till I was 7. I had epilepsy, right? So I had the helmet. I rode the short special bus to school, okay? Yeah. I was with all of the other special needs, if you want to be politically correct. I don't even know if that's, politically correct anymore, because they changed what's politically correct. They moved the goalposts. I was with all the other retards, and I was happy. I was happy as heck. And then at 7, I'm 7 years old, I'll never forget. Jimmy Brookhiser. Some lady comes into the class. Here! I raise my hand. Come with me, Jimmy. Okay. So, walk with her, we're walking down the hall, Hollywood Elementary. She's like, do you know where we're going, Jimmy? No. Do you have any idea why we're going somewhere? And I go, is it because I'm retarded? Right? This is what I said to the teacher, and she was like, no, not at all. And she's kind of freaked out, right? And I went from being retarded, special needs, disabled, whatever, to talented and gifted.
Oh, shit.
Okay? I had no middle fucking ground. It went from being the fucking idiot to the genius all of a sudden, right? Now that was a whole nother kettle of fish. A whole nother kettle of fish. And here's how fucked up it was. Political correctness, right? I saw it when I was in 5th grade, I think it was, maybe 6th grade. Because they had to change the tag program name from talented and gifted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the other kids were getting all upset because they weren't talented and gifted, right? So they changed it to the research study group. Dude, I knew there was a problem right then. I didn't really know it, but I know now. That's when I really saw the first bit of political correctness and what it does. It makes us all weaker. Reese is a genius at skateboarding, at BMXing, okay? He was able, because I'm teaching him how to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was able to make a perfect omelet on the second one that he did by himself. The first one he did all by himself it would at least get an 85% grade, right? So B plus, right?
Okay.
The second one he made by himself was just fucking 100% A++, okay?
Okay.
Dude, do you know how many people I know that still can't make an omelet to this day? That can't make a proper omelet and have it turn out the way it's supposed to? Don't ever get down on yourself out there if you can't do something that somebody else can do. Relish the things that you can do. Enjoy, right? Don't you? That's what I'm saying. So, hey, here's one. All you guys out there, maybe you have a very small penis, okay? Who gives a fuck? I had this chick, I'm not going to mention her name. This open mic chick, she told me, right, about being raped, right? I had a couple of open mic chicks tell me about, and like one of them told me about a comic that raped them and stuff, right? And this was just too much information, really, for me, okay? Because I mean, it was really too much information. But I asked, and she said that one guy raped her. The one was raped twice by 2 different guys, right? And she said, this is the weirdest thing, right? She said that she was raped by a guy with a micro penis, right? And she said, I don't even know if it was 2 inches hard, right? And I tried to make light of it, right? Or something. I don't remember exactly what I said. I didn't know what the fuck to say, okay? And she said something about, oh, well, that wasn't no fun, or something like that, right? And she said, no, you're wrong. He made me come the hardest I've ever come, the most I've ever come, and it pissed me off so. It pissed me off so bad. His penis just hit me exactly where it needed to hit me, and I just was like, I'm gonna save this up for later to let everyone know. If you got a micro penis, just find a chick with the right vagina.
This is like 2 inches.
Huh?
This is like 2 inches.
I know, dude. I mean, when she told me that, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
This other open mic chick, right? She told me a bunch of shit, right? That she got raped, and the guy had such a small dick. I don't even know how to say this next part. She made him fuck her in the ass because his dick was too small for her pussy.
No, shit.
How is that rape? Does that sound like rape to you? If you're in control to tell the rapist where to fuck you, that doesn't sound like rape, does it? I mean, I'm just asking, bro, really. That was weird as fuck when she said that. I didn't know what the fuck to think after that. That was the weirdest thing I think I've ever heard from a female.
That's weird.
It was weird, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
I didn't know what to say either. That's why I'm starting to cramp from all that, right? Dude, you have been the bomb guest. I mean, like bomb, like the bomb diggity. And I hope you had fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Omar.
Thanks
Mr. Omar, did you have fun?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. And I'm holding myself because I'm about to start cramping. shake hands, and I would love to have you back soon, okay?
Okay.
And this has been Obstreperous Eccentric Comics Only, episode 1. Did you want to give a shout out to your Twitter or your anything where the people can find you? Where you're gonna go next, or
My Twitter, Instagram is Shalaby and Omar. Well, yeah,
what is it?
Shalaby and Omar. SHALABYNOMAR.
At
That's my that's okay.
that's
Yes,
on
at
it's Twitter. Twitter's weird because it's that at that
okay.
right?
So yeah, at SHALABYNOMAR.
All right, guys. All right, thanks a lot. Much love, and I got confirmation from Sandy Danto that the week after next he'll be coming on the show, and to talk. He'll be on episode 2, episode 3, something like that. And you know what, Sandy Danto, by the way, I'm sure you agree, he's one of those 3% of the fucking best guys on the planet. Okay, you know who else? Jeremiah Watkins, another great. You agree with both of those?
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Both?
Yeah.
Because, man, both of those guys, awesome. So, much love, everyone. That's been episode 1. You did a great job, Omar. I hope, Mr. Omar Shalaby, I hope that people get to see this and really realize that, please, if you're a new comic, don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Thank you. Much love. I could talk to you all day, bro. All day.